Hey, you. It's another beautiful day. Let's watch some stuff.
Okay, guys, so there is this thing. I don't know if it's just in Mexico, but there's this remedy for headaches and migraines. It's natural. Oh, I already felt a little bit of the. Okay, so you do the size of a quarter. You grab a size of a quarter hair, and then you. Oh, did you guys hear that? Well, it hurt, but you're supposed to twist it, but like wrap it around your finger twice and then pull up. So it's hair pulling tradition and it makes headaches go away. Let me know if you guys ever heard something like this. And who likes my new glasses?
I can't even watch that. I cannot. It's absolutely horrible to just see it. I get migraines and they're awful. They start like in my jaw and my mouth, and then they just move their way up, and it's right here. And it's been like that for years. And I finally, about a year and a half ago, got on Imitrex. It's a miracle medication. It really is. There's so many days where I would just be completely incapacitated if it wasn't for that medication. But this thing, no, that's got to be doing some kind of harm to like your scalp, right? To make that noise. Like, I'm going to look it up and we're going to find out right now.
This is the human version of popping bubble wrap. Hair pulling or shukak is used in many different cultures to relieve headaches or migraines. And when it comes to cultural beliefs, I'm open-minded. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it doesn't work, but I'm also not going to tell you it works. When you pull your hair like this and you hear a pop, just know that sound comes from the middle layer of your scalp, the galea aponeurotica, which is a fibrous sheet of connective tissue being yeeted and lifted off your skull. You are ripping off your biological Velcro. The galea aponeurotica contains superficial and deep blood vessels, and any trauma to this in the form of yeetage can result in these blood vessels tearing and then a bleed developing inside your skull and a hematoma. Not good. You can crack your knuckles, but try to avoid cracking your hair.
Oh my goodness, he's so with the times. Listen to him say yeet when talking about like freaking pulling your hair. I thought yeet meant like throwing. I really, I don't know. My kids say weird things. Um, so that's disturbing. See, it is doing some kind of damage. That can't be much better than like, the medication. I'd much rather take the medication than pull my hair because every time I heard that click, I just it made me nauseous. I wonder how often your hair has to be pulled like that to get this relief. Is it like all the time? Like every time you start to have this headache or this migraine, you have to have your hair pulled? Because it's doing damage every single time. Like if it was a constant, like you just do it once and boom, your headaches are relieved for like forever or a very, very long time, that would, I don't know. I can't say that benefit outweighs the risk. But some people can't say that the benefit of taking pills outweighs the risk. So I completely get both sides. I personally am on the I'm going to take the pill side for the simple fact that hearing that makes me nauseous. And thinking of having to do that every time I have a migraine, which is quite regularly, like 3 times a week, I have migraines. And if it wasn't for the medication, I couldn't function. But this, I'd rather have the pills. That's me. No. Look, it's my face real close. I just wanted to pop in here and say thank you for hanging out. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover, please let me know down in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get it in an upcoming video. If you're having a good time, you know where the thumbs up button is. Hit that for me and consider subscribing. Then come back tomorrow because I'm making a new video every day.
Floating above Los Angeles is a historic landmark so haunted that employees are allegedly asked to sign NDAs promising to not enclose their paranormal experiences. This is the Griffith Observatory, the crown of Griffith Park, and if you're familiar with LA lore, then you'll know it sits on cursed land. The land was originally Rancho Los Feliz. Because of some healthy family drama, is allegedly home to a curse, one that has stricken the land and landowners since its casting. Griffith J. Griffith would donate this portion of the land for the use of a public observatory in 1896. With the caveat, it must always be open for the public since until then, observatories were an exclusive attraction for the wealthy. Don't be fooled though, the man was a monster and would shoot his wife in the face in 1903 at the Arcadia Hotel in Santa Monica, where she'd jump out the window and miraculously, or sadly, depending on how you spin it, would survive. When I did the first season of my show Macabre Mondays, I had a former employee offer to tell me everything he experienced when working there, including the ghosts in the planetarium, the strange phone calls night security receives from no one, and the strange black shadow that will chase you down the hill. He said the reason he had to sign an NDA was because they don't want the paranormal activity scaring away the public. It's also the only time I've been asked to take a video down by a location. Haunted or not, cursed land or not, it remains my favorite landmark in the city, and as beautiful as it is on a clear day when you can see all the way out to the ocean, I almost prefer it socked in by clouds, giving the illusion that you really are floating in the clouds in the city of angels.
So the Griffith Park Observatory is actually pretty close to where I live. And as a child, we went there several times and saw the what is it called? The observatory. You go in and you look at all the stars on the ceiling and everything like that. It was really cool. I never even once got the feeling that maybe something spooky was happening there. And to be perfectly honest, I've never even heard stories about the Griffith Park Observatory having any kind of paranormal activity going on there. That is interesting that there are NDAs being signed to not disclose what's going on as far as their paranormal activity. Maybe I was just too young and they were like sheltering me from it or something. I don't know. But I think that would be something that you'd hear about, especially living nearby, right?
The man who cut off his own finger says he's only 62% complete with his transformation, and what he has planned is extreme. His goal is to become an alien, and he says the more he removes, the more complete he feels. Anthony Lafredo started his transformation at 24 because he was miserable living in a body he didn't belong in. He began with tattoos, which quickly started covering his whole body, including his eyeballs. As he progressed with his transformation, the body modifications began to get more extreme. So far, he's dyed his teeth purple, cut off multiple fingers, cut a hole in his lip, cut off his top lip, spliced his tongue in two, cut off his ears and the tip of his nose. But he's far from complete. He has plans to amputate his own leg and also split his downstairs member in half. He also wants to eventually get his skin removed and replace it with metal. But he said his unique look has gotten a lot of negative reactions, with many people screaming and running when they see him, and multiple restaurants have been scared to serve him.
What I think that is a severe case of body dysmorphia. And it's when everything you see about your body, it makes you feel like it needs to be repaired. Like there are people who are like, oh, I have a saggy jawline, which is fine. I got a waddle. Okay, yeah, I know. I get it. I live with it. It's fine. But there are some people that cannot handle that. So they have to go and have it repaired. And that surgery is available. And instead of being like, hey, maybe you should have some psychological evaluation, we're just going to go ahead and take your money and cut you up, no matter how much you want to be cut up. But to have fingers removed, that is severe. That is severe. You don't just, who actually removes body parts that don't need to be removed? That is insane. That is absolutely unheard of. Go hacking your body apart. And that guy, he wants to have his leg just one. Wants to have one leg amputated so he can have an artificial leg. That's sick. He needs help and not more surgeries. But he's getting them, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
While in the Clink in London, UK, I found an actual scold's bridle. Their earliest recorded use is in 1567 in Scotland, but it became popularized in England. The wearer would have to walk through the streets and be catcalled and harassed. This little protuberance would actually go into the woman's mouth, which is quite awful. I imagine it would really hurt your teeth, but this is made out of iron. It wasn't ridiculously heavy, but it wouldn't have been very comfortable. The metal would hold down the woman's tongue. Hard to believe that your husband could do this to you.
See, ladies, you think life's so bad right now. That was permitted for gossiping or talking back to your husband. And that little plate didn't just sit on your tongue. It had like spikes on it. So if you moved your mouth or did any talking, it would tear up your tongue. Yeah. This is what we have advanced from. So, it's a pretty good advancement, I think.
Have you ever wondered what this weird procedure is in this video and why it's done? So this procedure involves inserting a balloon into the nostril and then inflating it. The balloon then comes out from the person's throat. This happens obviously because the nose and mouth are connected. The balloon is eventually popped, providing what appears to be instant relief. The technique is called endonasal balloon manipulation. But why in the world do people even try it? Especially when this procedure is not supported by mainstream doctors due to safety concerns. You see, some chiropractors claim this can make your facial bones expand and unlock things. It's supposed to help with stuff like sinus and headaches.
Did you catch that? Chiropractors are doing this procedure where they shove a balloon up your nose and inflate it. Wouldn't that damage like this whole area here? I mean, it's supposed to, they're saying that it expands it, but couldn't it do harm? I mean, you're not supposed to have. I'm gonna look something up, and we're gonna find out about this real quick. Hang tight.
This is exactly why you don't fall asleep first in a sleepover. What you're seeing is a patient who's undergoing this procedure called balloon sinoplasty, and this procedure is done in those who have chronic rhinosinusitis or severe inflammation or infection in the nose. And typically, it is provided in those who failed typical medical therapy. And in these patients, they have nasal congestion. They might have infection in the nose as well. And this procedure helps prevent further infection there. And what it does is that it places a camera into your nose, into your septum, and then inflates a balloon so that the septum is then able to be open, causing the inflammation to be diminished over time. And typically this procedure is done on an office visit, and it's typically done with local anesthesia. It doesn't need to be done with intubation or general anesthesia, which sometimes they may be required though. And then patients typically do feel some discomfort, but they're able to go home that same day. This procedure is something that could be useful for those who suffer with chronic sinusitis, and no matter what medications they're taking, they're not getting any benefit.
So chiropractors are doing an at-home Walmart version of a proper medical procedure done by ear, nose, and throat specialists to relieve sinus issues. Did you see the picture, how complex it is inside of there? And they're just jamming a balloon inside of your face, and that's terrible. That can't be good. They're going to damage. Oh my goodness, chiropractors, no. Okay, that's bad. I'm going to go ahead and go with that's bad. Don't. That's bad. Has anybody had that done? Has anybody gone to a chiropractor and had the balloon thing done? Because I want to know about it. Was it awful? Because it looks awful.
Did you see Netflix came out with a show that's a prison experiment reality show? It's called Unlocked, a jail experiment, and it aims to see what happens if you give prisoners in a maximum security jail more freedoms. So prisoners inside of Pulaski County Detention Center in Arkansas are usually locked inside of their jail cells for 23 hours a day with only 1 hour out of the cell. And usually in the hour they're so pent up that violence ensues and they're forced back into the cells before the hour is up. But a new sheriff comes to the jail and he has an experiment he wants to run. He wants to take all the deputies out of the unit and unlock all of the doors so prisoners have unfiltered access to go in and out of their cells. And immediately the other people who run the jail are like, this is a terrible idea. We can't even trust them for 1 hour a day. But the sheriff is like, no, we need to treat these people as adults. And with that, they unlock the doors for the next 6 weeks. And people are finding the show fascinating because you get to see how the men handle conflict management and create this little community. But people are also kind of conflicted about it because at the end of the day, we are voyeuristically watching people in prison. But despite how people feel, they can't stop watching it. It's #1 right now. So let me know in the comments if you've seen it. I'm very curious what people are thinking.
I myself am one of those unfortunate souls that no longer has Netflix ever since they stopped allowing you to share passwords. But since then, there have been quite a few documentaries that I've seen that I might consider getting Netflix back just to see. This one in particular, it almost makes it worth spending that money. Almost. If you've watched any of it, please let me know. It sounds like a very interesting experiment, and it does sound sick at the same time because you're invested in what's going to happen with these people that are being put through this test, right? Unless they're all in on it, they're like, hey, we're going to do a documentary. We're going to let you guys all out and you have to form a community. Ooh, it might all be staged. I don't know. Let me know. Have you seen it? What's it all about? Is it good? Is it worth it? Should I fork out the money for it? I'm going to have to do the premium one because I don't do commercials anymore. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to call it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out. I truly appreciate every second of your time, and I hope to see you tomorrow. I'm going to make a new video. I do have a request. Yeah, come back tomorrow. See how it goes. Have a wonderful day.